The seven wonders of the world. Complete. But what about the eight? Here before you stand the most breathtaking creations of human history. Petra, the mysterious city carved into stone. Machu Picchu, the lost civilization among the clouds. Stonehenge, the ancient monument whose stones guard an unsolved secret. Angkor Wat, the temple of the gods, the majestic Khmer legacy. The Great Wall of China, a wall that surpasses the limits and power of mankind. Chichen Itza, the soaring pyramid of the Maya. Teotihuacan, the city of the gods, bearing the traces of an unknown civilization. The Acropolis and Parthenon, the immortal symbol of Greek civilization. The Colosseum, the blood-soaked arena of Rome. And the Taj Mahal, the eternal monument of love, the jewel of India. These are not merely stone and marble. They are silent witnesses to humanity's dreams and endless curiosity. Now, the time has come. Which one deserves to be the eighth wonder? We know Petra, the mysterious city carved into stone. Should the eighth be? Perhaps the answer is Petra, a magnificent city carved into red rock, hidden beneath the desert sands for thousands of years. Petra is located in southern Jordan, surrounded by red mountains in a desert valley where days are scorching hot and nights are cool. The city was built in such a strategic spot that it remained hidden while sitting at the very crossroads of ancient trade routes. But who built it? In the 4th century before Christ, the Nabateans, a nomadic Arab tribe, settled here. In this harsh land, where water was scarce, they engineered an extraordinary water storage system. Soon, Petra became a true oasis in the desert. Trade routes passed right through here. Spices from Arabia, silk from India, incense from Africa, all bought and sold in Petra's bustling markets. As wealth grew, the city filled with magnificent buildings. Entering Petra wasn't easy. The city was protected by a narrow canyon called the Seek, 1.2 kilometers long, with cliffs reaching up to 80 meters high. This natural corridor was like a trap for any enemy. And then, at the end of that narrow passage, the sight that takes your breath away. El Khazne, the treasury, standing 40 meters tall, carved entirely from rock. It is a marvel of both engineering and art. Its columns, statues, and intricate details are mesmerizing. But Petra was much more than the treasury. There was an entire city here. Rock-cut tombs, a massive Roman theater, colonnaded streets, temples and water channels, all carved into the red stone. Life in Petra revolved around trade. Marketplaces were filled with the scent of exotic spices. Stalls displayed gold-embroidered fabrics, and merchants from many cultures met here. Their influence reflected in the city's architecture. Yet, like all civilizations, Petra eventually declined. In 363 Anno Domini, a massive earthquake destroyed its water systems. Trade routes shifted. Slowly, Petra was abandoned. The sand swallowed the city, but could not erase it. In 1812, Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, disguised as an Arab, rediscovered Petra. Since then, it has become one of the most fascinating archaeological sites in the world. In 1985, it was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, hundreds of thousands of tourists visit Petra each year. When the sun strikes the red rock, it feels as if time stands still.
So, do you think Petra deserves to be the eighth wonder of the world?
Stonehenge, the ancient monument whose stones guard an unsolved secret of stones that belongs to no empire or army. Stonehenge is one of the most mysterious human-made structures to survive from the distant past. Could it deserve the title of the eighth wonder? Around 3000 before Christ, the first earthwork ditch and circular enclosure were built. By about 2500 before Christ, massive sarsen stones were erected, each weighing around 25 tons and standing 8 meters high. Smaller blue stones came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, 250 kilometers away. Transporting and erecting these stones with the technology of the time was a feat of engineering in itself. Archaeologists believe Stonehenge may have served as a calendar and astronomical observatory. Its alignment allows the sun to rise and set through specific points during the summer and winter solstices. This precision could have helped farming communities determine planting and harvest times. But Stonehenge was more than an observational tool. It was a place of ritual. Human remains and artifacts found nearby suggest it was used for burials, religious ceremonies, and communal gatherings. Some theories propose it was a pilgrimage center with healing powers. For thousands of years, Stonehenge has fascinated different cultures. Romans, Saxons, and medieval peoples interpreted the site through their own beliefs. In modern times, it attracts both scientists and tourists. The methods used in its construction remain debated. Scholars suggest wooden sledges, rolling logs, human labor, and possibly animal assistance. The mortise and tenon joints connecting the upright stones to the lintels demonstrate advanced carpentry skills adapted to stone. In 1986, it was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, visitor access is restricted to protect it. Machu Picchu, the lost civilization among the clouds. Andes at 2,430 meters above sea level, Machu Picchu stands not only as a stone city, but as a symbol where engineering, aesthetics, and belief converge. Around 1450 after Christ, Inca ruler Pachacuti built it as an imperial retreat reflecting the empire's power and grandeur. Without mortar, stones were locked together with millimetric precision. The gentle slope of the walls dispersed earthquake forces, aqueducts carried rainwater to the terraces, and layered drainage allowed the soil to breathe. This engineering shows the Inca spoke the language of nature rather than fighting it. At the heart of the city stands the Intihuatana, the hitching post of the sun. Its shadow marked sowing and harvest seasons as well as ritual days. Facing the horizon, Intipunku, the sun gate, channels the dawn light into the city's axis on specific days. Temples, noble residences, storehouses, and workshops were all positioned according to this astronomical order. The population of around 1,000 included artisans, priests, soldiers, and farmers. Agricultural terraces were not just for food, they were a massive defense against landslides. Potatoes, maize, and quinoa grown here carried agricultural knowledge dating back centuries before Christ. Water channels worked silently, and stone stairs guided movement while locking the structure together. When the Inca Empire fell in the 16th century after Christ due to the Spanish conquest, Machu Picchu was abandoned. Local people continued to know of it, but the world rediscovered it in 1911 through Hiram Bingham's writings. In 1983, it was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. The flawless joints of its stones display the ashlar mastery that dissipates vibration. In scale, innovation, impact, and sustainability, Machu Picchu is a strong contender. So, do you believe this mountain city truly deserves the title of Eighth Wonder? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't don't forget to like the video. The Great Wall of China, a wall that surpasses the limits and power of mankind. Stretching across mountains and deserts for thousands of kilometers, deserve to be called the eighth wonder. The Great Wall of China is not just stone and brick, it is centuries of labor, fear, and engineering. Its origins date back to the 7th century before Christ, when local kingdoms built walls to defend northern China from nomadic invasions. In 221 before Christ, after unifying China, Qin Shi Huang ordered these separate walls to be connected into a single defense system. The Han, Sui, Tang, and especially the Ming dynasties later expanded and reinforced it into the form we know today. The total length, including all branches, exceeds 21,000 kilometers, more than half the Earth's equator. It was built not only from stone and brick, but also from tamped earth, wood, and local materials. Sections running along mountain ridges merge with natural barriers to strengthen defense. Watchtowers along the wall were used to send signals with beacons. During the day, smoke was used. At night, fire. Enemy movements could be reported from miles away. Some towers served as garrisons, warehouses, and command posts. The Great Wall was more than a military structure. It was also a border control, a monitoring point for trade routes, and a tax collection line. Caravans on the Silk Road traded between China and the West for centuries under its protection. But its construction came at a heavy cost. Harsh climate, difficult terrain, and poor nutrition claimed the lives of tens of thousands of laborers, soldiers, and convicts. This is why it is sometimes called the world's longest cemetery. Over the centuries after Christ, some sections fell into disrepair, yet many Ming-era parts still stand. In 1987, it was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. From an engineering perspective, with its length, adaptation to terrain, communication system, and multi-purpose use, the Great Wall is one of humanity's greatest projects. In scale, innovation, impact, and sustainability, it is undeniably a strong contender. So do you think the Great Wall of China truly deserves the title of Eighth Wonder? Chichen Itza, the soaring pyramid of the Maya. The Mayan pyramid that carved the heavens into stone. The Temple of the Sun, Damien between the tropical jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, a city of stone emerges from the silence of time. It whispers through shadows and sunlight, the immortal capital of the Maya, Chichen Itza. This was never just a city. It was a sacred nexus of science, faith, and power. Its very name means at the mouth of the sacred well. To the north lies the cenote, a vast sinkhole where the Maya cast gold, jade, precious stones, and even human lives into the dark waters. Offerings to the gods born from reverence, fear, and hope. At its heart rises El Castillo, the Temple Kukulkan, the feathered serpent. This pyramid was not merely a temple. It was a calendar carved in stone. 4 stairways, 91 steps each, 364 steps in total. At the platform at the top, 365. Every single day of the solar year, engraved in limestone. A civilization's knowledge of the cosmos made eternal. Twice each year, during the spring and autumn equinox, the sun's light strikes the pyramid's edge. A serpent of shadows stretches down the staircase. It is Kukulkan himself, descending from the heavens, watched in awe by thousands of worshippers. But Chichen Itza was more than a city of stars. It was a stage for war, for ritual, for sacrifice. The great ball court, the largest ever built by the Maya, echoed with the cries of players whose fates were bound to the game. The losers, and sometimes even the victors, paid with their lives. The Temple of the Warriors, the 1,000 columns, the sacred cenote filled with offerings and balls, all carved into stone, all telling the story of a people who sought to balance between life and death, between mankind and the divine. Back from the 9th to the 13th century, Chichen Itza thrived. It grew powerful, a hub of trade and knowledge. Then it fell silent, abandoned as kingdoms shifted and the roots changed. The jungle reclaimed the stones, but the pyramid still stands. Today, Chichen Itza is honored as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and celebrated as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. What do you think? Does this masterpiece deserve the title of the 8th wonder? Angkor Wat, the Temple of the Gods, the majestic Khmer legacy. But in the midst of Cambodia's tropical forests rises a temple complex whose scale, craftsmanship and cultural impact make it a strong contender for the title of 8th wonder. Angkor Wat is not merely a religious structure, it is a manifesto carved in stone embodying the soul of a civilization. Built in the early 12th century after Christ by Khmer King Suryavarman II, it was originally dedicated to Hindu god Vishnu. Covering about 162 hectares, the complex holds the record as the largest religious monument in the world. The surrounding moat, 190 meters wide, served both as defense and as a symbolic representation of cosmology. Angkor Wat is the pinnacle of classical Khmer architecture. Its 5 central towers on a 3-tiered platform represent Mount Meru, the mythical center of the Hindu universe. The towers rise in lotus bud form, each adorned with intricate carvings. The temple's bas-reliefs stretch over 800 meters, depicting scenes from Hindu mythology, battles between gods, royal processions, and the legendary churning of the ocean of milk. These reliefs are not only religious narratives, but also visual records of the era's social and political power. By the 13th century, as Buddhism became dominant in the region, Angkor Wat transformed into a Buddhist center, a role it maintains to this day. The sandstone blocks used in its construction were quarried about 50 kilometers away and transported via an extensive canal network. Millions of blocks were set with extraordinary precision, and construction is estimated to have taken more than 30 years. In the 15th century, when the Khmer capital moved from Angkor, the temple fell into neglect but was never completely abandoned. In the 19th century, French explorer Henri Moreau's writings brought it back into Western awareness. In 1992, it was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. From the perspectives of engineering, architectural beauty, and cultural continuity, Angkor Wat ranked Teotihuacan, the city of the gods, bearing the traces of an unknown civilization. Teotihuacan, the city of the gods. On the high plateau of Mexico lies a mystery, vast and eternal. A city built of stone, silent yet magnificent. Even its name is bold, the place where the gods were born. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Teotihuacan was the largest and most awe-inspiring city in the Americas. Its population exceeded 100,000. Its grand avenues stretched for kilometers, and its pyramids defied the sky. The Pyramid of the Sun rises like a man-made mountain. At 65 meters high and 225 meters wide, it is among the largest pyramids on Earth. Facing it, the Pyramid of the Moon completes the city's cosmic balance. Linking them is the Avenue of the Dead, not merely a stone road, but the very axis of ritual processions and sacred journeys. It was designed as a map of the heavens, a pathway woven with fate. At the heart of the city were not only pyramids, but hundreds of temples, workshops, houses and walls adorned with vivid murals. Most striking of all was the Temple of the Feathered Serpent. Its facade covered with serpent carvings and traces of sacrificial rites. Excavations uncovered the remains of hundreds of human sacrifices, proof of the city's bloody devotion to its gods. And yet the central mystery remains. Who built Teotihuacan? The Maya, peoples who lived centuries before the Aztecs? Or an unnamed civilization now lost to history? No written records survive. No chronicles, no alphabet, no voice from the past. Only stone, only silence. Archaeologists point to the city's cosmopolitan character. Communities from Oaxaca, Veracruz, even from Maya lands lived together here. Teotihuacan was not just a political or economic capital. It was a crossroads of cultures, a true ancient metropolis. The layout of the pyramids was no accident. The cycles of the sun and moon, even the position of the Orion constellation, were built into the city's design. Teotihuacan was more than a settlement. It was an observatory, a sacred temple, a vision of the cosmos carved into the earth. Today, Teotihuacan stands as an UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was not chosen among the new 7 wonders of the world, but for many, it remains the forgotten 8. What do you think? Does the City of the Gods deserve that title? And the Taj Mahal, the eternal monument of love, the jewel of India, lies in a breathtaking monument rising on the banks of the Yamuna River in the city of Agra, India, the Taj Mahal. In 1631, Emperor Shah Jahan of the Mughal Empire was devastated by the death of his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. To immortalize her memory, he decided to build the most magnificent mausoleum the world had ever seen. Construction began in 1632 and lasted for more than 20 years. Tens of thousands of artisans, stonecutters, calligraphers, and architects worked together to bring this masterpiece to life. The result was not merely a tomb, but love itself carved in marble. The Taj Mahal is built from white marble, a stone that changes color with the light of day. Pinkish at dawn, dazzling white at noon, and golden at sunset. This harmony with nature makes it more than just a resting place. It is a timeless work of art. Its dome rises gracefully toward the sky, while 4 minarets frame the monument. Its gardens, inspired by Islamic visions of paradise, offer peace and balance. Its architectural details are equally extraordinary. The main dome reaches 35 meters in height and spans 73 meters, admired for its perfect symmetry. The interior is adorned with floral motifs inlaid with semi-precious stones such as lapis lazuli, agate, emerald and ruby, brought from distant lands. This technique, known as pietra dura, makes the Taj Mahal one of the finest examples of stone craftsmanship in the world. The stones used in its construction came from Afghanistan, Tibet, and even the lands of the Ottoman Empire. The walls are decorated with verses from the Quran, inscribed with exquisite calligraphy. Every detail reflects both architectural perfection and profound faith. Yet above all, the Taj Mahal tells a story of love. While many monuments were built for power, glory, or conquest, the Taj Mahal was built for love. Today, the Taj Mahal is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attracts millions of visitors every year. Couples, lovers and travelers from across the globe come not only to admire its beauty, but to witness the memory of an eternal love. It is regarded not only as India's treasure, but as a legacy of all humankind. Many believe it truly deserves to be called the 8th wonder of the modern world. For it is built not only of stone, but of grief, love, memory and beauty that defies time itself. So, do you think the Taj Mahal deserves to be the 8th wonder? The Acropolis and Parthenon, the immortal symbol of Greek civilization. Wonder. Perhaps it is this. The Acropolis of Athens, crowned by the Parthenon, rising above the heart of Athens, on a rocky hilltop, stands a monument carved in stone, a symbol of Western civilization, democracy, and art itself. The word Acropolis means high city, and atop this high city lies its crown jewel, the Parthenon, dedicated to the goddess Athena. Built in the 5th century before Christ, during the Golden Age of Athens, the Parthenon was far more than a temple. It was a statement of power, wealth, and aesthetic perfection. Architects Iktinos and Kallikratis, guided by the genius of sculptor Phidias, created a structure that has captivated the world for millennia. Its storied columns are considered the most perfect ever built. Yet more astonishing is the hidden mathematics. The columns bulge ever so slightly, the steps curve subtly. Optical refinements designed to trick the human eye continue seeing flawless harmony. Inside, once stood the Athena Parthenos, a towering 12-meter statue of ivory and gold, gleaming in the sunlight. Though lost to history, it inspired awe in all who saw it. The very embodiment of Athens' divine protector. And carved into the temple's friezes, myth and history entwine. The legendary battles of gods set alongside Athens' triumphs over the Persians. A nation's story immortalized in marble. But the Acropolis is more than the Parthenon. With grand gateway of the Propylaea, the Erechtheion with its haunting Theriatid maidens of stone, the small yet elegant temple of Athena Nike. Each structure a voice, together forming the chorus of Athens' glory. In 1687, a Venetian bombardment ignited its stores, shattering the masterpiece in a single explosion. Sculptures were looted, marbles carried off, fragments of Athens scattered across the museums of the world. And yet, the Acropolis still stands, scarred but unbowed. Its columns rise defiantly against the sky, bearing witness to humanity's eternal drive to create beauty. Today, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is nothing less than the beating heart of Western culture. So, what do you think? Does the Parthenon deserve to be called the eighth wonder of the world? The Colosseum, the blood-soaked arena of Rome. If the Colosseum of Rome had been included in that list, who could have objected? Still standing tall today, this monumental structure showcases the power, aesthetic vision, and engineering genius of the Roman Empire. The Colosseum is not merely a stone arena, it is a silent witness to the grandeur of emperors, the passions of the people, and the most dramatic moments of history. Construction of the Colosseum was initiated by Emperor Vespasian and completed under his son Titus in the year 80 after Christ. From that moment on, it became not only a center of entertainment for the Roman people, but also a symbol of might for the empire. Built with hundreds of thousands of tons of travertine stone, this colossal arena could host more than 50,000 spectators at once. It was not just a pile of stone. With its carefully designed tunnels, animal cages, and stage devices, it represented the most advanced engineering of its age. In fact, modern stadiums find their very origins here. Architecturally, the Colosseum had 4 levels, each decorated with different column styles: Doric at the bottom, Ionic in the middle, and Corinthian at the top. It had over 80 entrances to allow crowds to flow in and out with ease. Beneath the arena lay the complex Hypogeum, where gladiators, wild beasts, and machinery were hidden. With elevators and trapdoors, scenes could change instantly, and wild animals could appear in the arena as if by magic. Such mechanisms were proof of Roman engineering at its peak. Yet, the Colosseum is more than an architectural marvel. It also reveals humanity's darker side. Here, gladiators fought for honor, slaves for freedom, and animals died merely for the amusement of the crowds. While Romans applauded their emperor's greatness, what they witnessed was a spectacle drenched in blood and tears. Still, The allure of the Colosseum arises from this very contrast: grandeur and cruelty, victory and tragedy, side by side within the same stone walls. Through the centuries, earthquakes, fires, and stone looters heavily damaged the monument. In the Middle Ages, it was used as a quarry, its stones carried away to build other structures, yet it survived. Later, Christians regarded it as a sacred site and popes placed it under protection. Today, visited by millions every year, the Colosseum still stands proudly in the heart of Rome. Perhaps this is why some historians argue it truly deserves the title of Eighth Wonder. For the Colosseum is not only Rome's pride, but also a symbol engraved into the collective memory of all humankind. Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your voice. On this journey, your ideas will also become part of history. Leave a comment and share your thoughts with us, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos.